To another Birds edition of the Purple Rain podcast, and it's another one of those episodes where every now and then one member of the trio likes to suggest a topic and we just roll it. Letty's done it a few times. Pluto's just recently told me his idea for one, and Lay's always said, "You boys are on your own." And given its topic, I'm going to wait till after we've had a few Bank of Goldeneyes home games before we go into that. But, and it's more of mine. So, it's about the jersey debacle that we had a few weeks ago. And obviously, we got the images of both what are now the Seattle Torrent and Bank of Goldeneyes jerseys. And of course, back then, we still had no idea what the situation with Seattle Barker was going to be. Were they going to have brands? Were they not going to have brands? And I remember the day very well, not just because I was literally sick to the stomach. I was really bad, and you might not tell when we did recording of that episode. It wasn't just a standard common cold, it was also a really sore throat. I had to literally do various different medicines. Luckily, I'm cleared up of it now. Making sure I'm keeping well warmed as we now are into these icicle nights and everything, so all fine. But yeah, but I remember that day very, very vividly, not just because I was literally sick to the stomach. And so the last thing I needed was a confusing press release for the PWHL 6-player jersey situation. Unfortunately, that's what we got. And in the press release, it did say that Seattle and Vancouver would then get their names and brands of the 4 stars, and of course, those 3 just like because that sent like really sort of mixed signals. And obviously a few weeks ago we obviously had the Torrent Goldeneyes brands be rebuilt, and I just think it's such a shame that those brands, those logos, are not going to be on jerseys for the local season. Obviously we're going to see them used in branding and marketing, and you will of course be seeing them in the box scoreboard, whatever you call it, when you watch games this year, wherever you are in the world, you will be seeing them, but unfortunately we are not going to see them on jerseys until next year, the 26-27 season, when who knows, we might have more expansion by then, who knows. It's a real shame. Yeah, so as we all know, our 2 new expansion teams are going to be going down the inaugural 6 route, which is what I'm going to call it, which is basically where you had a basic jersey template, and you had your cities, or in the case of Minnesota, your cities, your team city or state is what I meant to say. In the case of Minnesota, down the chest diagonally. Now it's a common jersey style that I do not like. The Rangers use it for both their home and road games. It's only now they're starting to put that actual logo on a jersey. I think they recently made a 3rd jersey with that logo on. A lot of people hate it. I like it just because it's actually got the actual Rangers logo on it. Yeah. The Hurricanes do it with their... they used to do it. They used to... Because, of course, yes, they've just released many new jerseys. The Hurricanes used to do it. And I think Pittsburgh's also had a 3rd jersey that's done it. And I think I remember the Lightning, when they went to Nashville for the Stadium 2 years ago, did it as well. For me, it's not a type of jersey style I like. At all. But yeah, and that's what it was. And I remember the time thinking, oh my god, I don't like this for the whole league. But I remember thinking, okay, it's just one season. By this time next year, we'll have our brands, we'll have our names, have our identities, our logos, it'll be fine. And we did put up with it for that one season. Yeah. So I'm not surprised that Seattle Bank have gone with this route, because obviously, we didn't really know, did we, until literally the day of the show's release, if Vancouver and Seattle were going to have brands out in time. And And I just need to remind everybody watching, if you haven't been involved with PWHL from the very beginning like me, I just want to remind you the reasons why the inaugural 6 had those kind of jerseys in the first place. As you remember, the PWHL was launched in the summer of 2023. We were going to be having our first ever games in January of 2024. That was not enough time to get names, brands and logos sorted, slapped back on jerseys in time for January the 1st, 2024. So there was not enough time for that. And it worked. And I don't ever see any complaints about, not having names and brands. I mean, the YouTube chat was full of great suggestions, and it actually got the conversation going on YouTube, like how a lot of people were testing doing that, like, oh, what could we maybe call our team this? And they were throwing all those suggestions. I remember throwing out regions. Considering how we were having purple. Purple's a regional colour here in the UK. So I was kind of thinking like sort of like that. And given how no two rosters are kind of the same each year. So yeah, so I was thinking like regions would have been like a good option. But of course, very happy with obviously the Frost look. And of course, where I got my jersey, should be jerseys soon. I've got the red one ordered, so hopefully should be here before Christmas. So obviously wear those with pride. Yeah, so that was the reason why. Now, for Seattle Vancouver, of course, we did wonder were they going to get the brands in time or not. And so when me and Play initially saw the images, we thought, okay, yeah, obviously fine. Yeah, they're not going to have their brands in time. Totally understandable. And then, well, I read the rest of these, like, oh, it said mixed signals. So, my personal opinion, and this is what I want to focus more on today. I want to do more my personal opinion rather than just go and hammer out what we already know, because there's already episode on that about this route. My personal opinion is, I would like this to be a tradition for the Professional Women's Hockey League going forward. Because one of the things I love about our league is how we literally break the status quo. So literally everything you think you know about hockey, we don't stick to that. Okay. Yes, it's still 3 periods of regulation. Yes, if the score is tied, we have to have overtime or a shootout. Okay. But apart from that, everything else is completely unique and different to PHL. Like, what other hockey league has the jailbreak goal rule? What other hockey league has the goal plan? You know? What other hockey league has the 3-point system? You know, something I've been banging on about Airshot to do for years, which they did in the Four Nations, which that didn't really work because everybody only played each other, I think it was like once, so that really didn't work. And also, what other league lets the league champion choose who they want to play in the first round of the playoffs? Hasn't gone down well, has it? It's kind of backfired, that one. But yeah, so there's so many different initiatives the PHL has made on the ice. Why not have a tradition off the ice? And I feel like this it would really help connect the team more, you know, because in our inaugural season, you know, referring to the teams as PHL Minnesota, PHL Montreal, you know, and all that, it really helps, you know, to get people engaged, you know, because you have the PWHL in the team branding. So, you got to remember, we were a brand new league at the time, so literally this is going to really help not only get people aware there's a team in that city, in that market, also what the league is as a whole. You know, it's going to people talk about the PHL. But it's also going to help the fans in these markets connect with their team just that little bit more. And of course, it's always so hard when you bring a new team into the world, whether it's men's or women's sports. It's always so hard to make that connection. Okay, especially if you know, chances are, as an expansion team, you're probably not going to do well in your first season. So you've got to find ways off the ice to keep people engaged and want to come back again year in, year in, year out, because this is what you want to build for generations to come. So I think it really helps to forge those connections with the market you're going to be in straight away, and it's really, really, really good. So I have no problem with Seattle Vancouver wearing these style jerseys for this season. It's just at the same time I kind of love those brands to have been put on them. But it's really good that Seattle Vancouver managed to get their brands out in time to start the season, you know. So we do now have, so we can call them something rather than just refer to them as PHL Seattle, PHL Vancouver, which have just made those two like the odd ones out. Let's be honest. That's really good. Yeah, but I would like this to be something for all expansion teams. So my proposal would be, going forward, would be each time we welcome a brand new team, they have to wear these jerseys for their first year. After that, then you can slap bang the logos on. Now, it doesn't matter if they get a branding time for the start of the season or not. Doesn't matter. Regardless of that, you wear these colour jerseys. So let's say we have two teams put in Denver and Everton this time next year. I would expect them to wear jerseys with Denver and Everton written on them, regardless if they were to get a branding time or not. Okay. And the fact that both Vancouver and Seattle got brands in place for the start of the season, I think that shows to me that we can get these brands out in time for the start of the season. The question is, do you want to put them on jerseys or not for year one? And what was really interesting is when the moment of these jerseys going on sale in both cities, they sold like hotcakes. I mean, Seattle, I believe, I don't know the exact figures, but I did hear that Seattle did break a new league record for most jerseys sold in a single day. So that is really, really good for Seattle. Great work there. Because obviously, Seattle is still quite new to hockey. It's a new hockey market. And of course, obviously, it kind of did mid in the rankings. So taking the tour for total attendance last season. They got about 12,000 compared to Vancouver's 19,000. So I think some people might be thinking, well, is Seattle really going to work? Well, clearly the fans already show we are because they bought jerseys. So, yeah. And I think seeing those sales, that kind of sort of eased my things about this, because I'm like, if you get brands, stick them on. But, no, it's fine. It's all fine. It's all fine. Ideally, I would have liked, if they cut the brands, I would have liked to have got more jerseys, but it's fine. But my preference would be to make this as a tradition, and I feel like we need to explain to people that this is what we do. Because there have been some people on one side saying, yes, this is really good, it's going to be great. And there's other parts saying, well, why are we not having logos on jerseys? Okay? And I get both sides, but for me, I kind of feel like this should be a tradition that we have in the league. You just need to make it clear to the fans that this is what we do in year one, and then next year, that's where you get, like, your actual logos on the jerseys. Now, but for Seattle Vancouver, you've already got the league jersey template in place. We didn't. In year one, it was just literally just like a standard. It was kind of more like this. So basically, like a jumper. So it'd be like a plain. So it would be your base color, and that would be it. So we didn't really have like the if I get my frost jersey for you guys, just show me. Didn't I choose my wardrobe well today? Thank you, icy weather. We are having some very sub-zero temperatures in the UK for the next few days. Anyway. So for those of you watching, okay. So you see here on the shoulder how we've got this white, yeah, which is kind of breaks out. That is what we didn't have on any year one jerseys. It basically was just a standard jersey, and this would have been your base colour. So so it would have been all in purple. We didn't have any of this to help stick it out. It was just a dull, bland style. But I'm sure lots of people bought them, because like a collector's item. Because obviously, that's only going to be, for 1 year, and all that. I don't know if I was ever find one on eBay from this, would I buy it or not? I don't know. Maybe, because as you guys know, I have been here since day one. So we'll see. I don't know. Maybe, we'll see. Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember, did I try to look for jerseys in year one, or did I not? I'll put a lady. I know I did definitely try last year, because obviously last year we were really trying to find merch to have, but obviously it's all sorted now, so it's all good. I did give the league until the summer, and then I just went full blown. My card did not know what had hit it. Yeah, so you know what? I actually might try and find one, because I've been with the league from day one, so it should only be right. I should have one of these day one jerseys up there, shouldn't I? I'll try and see if I can find one of those. Wish me luck. Yeah, so these jerseys that Seattle Vancouver have, they can be seen as collector's items, because then next year you're going to have you will then have another jersey in your wardrobe. And I believe someone could be, you can also buy row versions of your jerseys. We couldn't do that in year 1. We couldn't get row jerseys in year 2 last year, but they are now, thank God. And I found one on eBay, and it's going to be arriving very, very soon. I think it should be arriving end of November or early December. It should be definitely. It says eBay says it'll be here before Christmas, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. So I would like this to be our own little, because every sports league has its own traditions, right? I mean, yeah, you'd have to ask me what they are, but you have to go and spot them. But every sports league does seem to have its own tradition, and I think it would be really great for the PWHL to create one for itself. And I think this is the best way to do it, because fans will buy these. We've seen that already. Fans will buy these jerseys, and then it gives them an incentive to go, well, this is going to be like a collector's item, because that's going to be like a one-of-a-kind jersey, because that's only going to be around for one season. And then we'll get our next jersey the following year when it has our name, when it has our logo on, and it has our brand on. So it's a really clever actually idea. I mean, I know somebody might be thinking, isn't that a cash cow scheme? Well, if this was the NHL, I'd be saying, yeah. You guys know my thoughts about the reverse retro scheme a few years ago was kind of seen as in my eyes, as a cash cow. It was to get money back from COVID. But for the PWHL, no, I think it's a great way to actually, grow the game even further. By having these jerseys that are specific to your cities. It's almost like a City Connect jersey, but without the ugly design on it. In fact, I do have... No, I don't know, I'm not going to get it. I do have a Philly City Connect jersey in my wardrobe, but I'm not going to grab it, because I am not giving MLB any free advertising on this show. Thank you very much, because you are dead to me. So I will not do it. It will now forever rot in my wardrobe, along with the rest of my London Series gear. That is where it will stay. It will stay. We will not go there, because I'm not doing that league-free advertising. No. Now, I know, obviously, LB, you have had various PWHL players come to your games, but I'm not giving you free advertising. Not happening. Shouldn't have messed with me, should you? When I was in... Nope. So, anyway. Yeah, so they're kind of like a City Connect jersey, but without the ugly designs that we've seen from various baseball teams over the last few years. Yeah. And, of course, it does have the PWHL logo on, so that also helps. You can look at it and go, oh, what's that? And then go, oh, Seattle's got a PWHL team? Or Vancouver's got a PWHL team? And that might get people who haven't considered going to a game. Yeah. So I'd love it to be a tradition that the league does. So every time we get an expansion team, we welcome them in, and this is going to be your jersey for you. It'll be just your city's name. Then you can still go and make your brands out and get them ready for your first season. That's fine, but you're not going to put them on the jersey until the following year, and that works. Because I'm sure people out there will have done that. They would have bought their year 1 jersey, and then obviously the following year they've got an identity, and they go and then buy that jersey. I can absolutely see that as being something that a lot of people would have done. Because there are a lot of jersey collectors out there who probably have done this. I mean, I'm still very tempted to do all of the local 6 teams jerseys. I am still on the record having said that last season. I think it's maybe did the brand reveal show or the jersey reveal show last year. Local 6. I did say that on the record, which Pluto caught me doing. Because he thought it was one of those moments where you say something but you forget the camera's on. Because it does happen. Even a trained professional like me who knows what it's like to be in front of a camera, work a microphone. Even those trained professionals have those moments every now and then where they just forget that on the camera, or their mic pack is rolling and it's picking up. So Pluto thought I was having a bit of a hot mic moment, because obviously the camera was rolling over, but I was like, no, I'm serious. Yes, boy, I know I just said that. I know. I'm serious. Haven't really looked into it though, but I am sorely tempted. So it would just be their home jerseys. And we could maybe, I don't know, do something like, we could maybe frame them. Maybe like I'll put them up on our wall here, you know. Maybe, something like that. Or I could wear them for Dreamland, so when each team wins the World Cup, I can wear their jersey for that season, you know, maybe. Or we could do it for the various birds episodes, but it's their own particular team, you know, just before. Or the Take the Tour recaps, I could wear the winning team's jersey in that. We'll see. Yeah. But I know there are player jersey collectors out there who would have probably bought a year 1 PWHL jersey and then gone, right, I'm going to go get the year 2 PWHL jersey, because obviously the year 1 jersey is a bit of a one of a kind, and that's what these inaugural jerseys are. They are literally, you know, one of a kind. Because normally in hockey, when a new team launches, they get their brand in place, they build their jerseys, and that is pretty much it until they make their first jersey change. Whereas we, the PWHL, have done something different. We've created inaugural jerseys, and then the following year, we create the jerseys that the teams will use for how many years until they then make a jersey change. No, but I could easily see these teams sticking for quite a long time. That would quite right now, Liverpool 6, and then super back through Seattle. I can see them sticking around a long time. So I'd love to have this as a tradition. It would be a really good thing, and it just makes the league, you know, stand out. You know, the PWHL stand out a bit more and go. And this is like something you can only find in the PWHL, like how it in certain in some various Disneylands you go to certain lands. You know, like how in Anaheim, like how if you want to go to Cars Land, you have to go to Disney California Adventure. That's the only place that's got Cars Land. If you want to go to Zootopia Land, you have to go to Shanghai Disneyland, because that place has got one. Okay. If you want to go to the Lion King Land in a few years' time, you have to come over here to Europe. You have to come to Disneyland Paris, because that's going to be the only place that has a Lion King Land. It took us 30 odd years, but we're finally getting our own unique land, boys and girls. Yay! Hey! And for those of you who want to come and go to Frozen, you have to go to either Hong Kong or Paris, because you don't have one in the American parks. But of course you do have the plasma screen dolls for Frozen Ever After. I still can't believe, you know, that is how the first ever Frozen ride went down. I mean, it was in Epcot, all places. You would have thought they would have had the money to make actual animatronics, and yet Hong Kong, it was 2 years ago, got in first, and then now we're gonna get it, and it's probably Florida's gonna be still stuck with the plasmas, unless I hear elsewhere. You know, but that's got one of the PWHL. One of the PWHL's current ideas that you can only see in the PWHL. I think this jersey route would be a good one. You know, you create an inaugural jersey that is related to the city, which looks nice and neat and chic, and that could be like a 1 year thing. It then becomes like a collector's item, and then the following year, that is where you go for the full article. You go for, right, here's your brand, here's your name, here's your logo. Look how it now is on a jersey. That's what you've got now going forward. That is how and that kind of eases things easily, because, you know, sometimes when you see a logo for the first time, you do sort of have some reservations. You just don't know how it's going to work. And then when you see them on the jerseys, it looks better. Because obviously, when we did the Brown and Bill show for the Torrent Goldeneyes, all three of us did point out a few things with both logos. And then I then carried argument with that, saying, well, it's probably good they're not going on jerseys this year, because it means that we get to have this season to get used to seeing them. And then the following year, when they're going on jerseys, those reservations could easily then fall away. And I think that is really going to help, you know, going forward. I think that would help go forward. I just think it would be a good idea. Yeah. Obviously, I don't like the design way it's done, with the title lettering, but that's just a small detail. And I think another thing I didn't like about our inaugural season jersey was how the colours was very dark. In fact, I'm going to get my boss jersey again. Because the year 1 jersey from Minnesota, the colour scheme was very dark. The shades of purple were quite dark. And we also had black as well, which wasn't great. We did not like the black. We're so glad it's gone. So, what you're seeing here, again for those of you watching on the YouTube, what you can see here, this is more of a lighter shade of purple, but it's not so bright it becomes like sort of lavender. So I think the colour. So I think they got the shades better for this jersey than they did our inaugural season jersey. They were just too dark shading. But that was another reason why we did not like our year 1 jersey, because the shade of the colours was just too dark. If you're gonna have to make me wear a purple jersey, the shading is gonna need to be done right. So, and it's interesting to see, because I need to go look them again. But I think both Banco and Seattle's jerseys have the exact same template that we currently have in the league. So, would they need to make any tweaks to them next year, or is it just be a simple case of slap the logo in the middle? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, my opinion. Yeah. So I think this will be a really good tradition to have. It's just you need to make it very, very clear to fans, particularly the fans in the expansion markets that's going to be affected by this. You just need to make it very, very clear that this is what we have to. This is what we're doing. It's a tradition. It's what we've all done. Everyone's done it. Nuggles 6 have done it. Seattle's done it. Vancouver's done it. It's your turn now. You just need to make it very, very clear. Because in the inaugural season, we all got it. We all understood why we are having these jerseys. Because it was very important to get the product out on the eyes and worry about branding afterwards. Okay, so we all got it. And I rarely saw any complaints at all in, particularly the YouTube chat. While watching games of that season, we hardly saw it all. In fact, we had a lot of people suggesting names in the YouTube chat. So that's actually quite handy. So I mean, it's not really an ideal way to do it, is it? If you've got a brand already out there and it's not got on the jersey, but there is a team of power that you can buy. There is a power out there with the Goldeneyes and Torrent Goldeneyes. So it's not like what us had to do in year 1, where we had to basically sell generic apparel just to try and get the word around. You actually do have Torrent Goldeneyes apparel. It's just you haven't got them on jerseys yet, and that's fine. Because it means that you can go out in your city centres, you can go out, wear the power pride, people come to go, oh, what's that? And you can explain it all, and then maybe get them into a game or not. So that's really good. It'd be interesting to see when we get close to the puck drop with Steel Vancouver who's wearing this design better. Because I think Seattle's looks a bit better now. Vancouver, because it looks a bit of a mess, because obviously the way the gold has been played with that, just that one block on the sleeves. So I think Seattle might have the best of the two this season, but we will see as we get closer to the start puck drop. And of course, the first game for these two sides is against each other. So hey ho, that's gonna be fun. And of course, Seattle's Herpler will be against us on Black Friday. So we'll just have a week. So it'll be a week apart before we get to see both teams in their respective home jerseys. It'll be interesting to see what the creams look like, because obviously Montreal, we've had two various shades of cream from the Montreal Victoire. One looked like sandcastles, and the other just looked like, well, there's no lovely way to say it to you, boys and girls, but one of them did look like poo and wee. Oh no! The inaugural season cream jerseys look like poo and wee. Last year's cream jerseys look like custard creams, which For those of you who don't know, it is a very popular biscuit here in the UK. It's a very popular biscuit in the UK. I don't know if it happened elsewhere, but yeah. Because our first Charles City Cream jersey was the first game back from Christmas, and I thought they looked like custard creams. And I think put a name with me, they were like, my eyes! Because they were quite bright, so it'd be interesting to see what variations Seattle and Vancouver do with their cream jerseys, and we'll see how that goes. And I can't wait to see the Big 12 fans just be all like green with envy, because they were all like, we had a unique jersey colour scheme. Yeah, it's gone now. It's gone now. Cream's the new white, Victoire. Cream is the new white. It's about time. About time. Anybody could do a white jersey. Let's mix it up. Let's shake it up. Come on, with the PWHL, we don't do things the same. We do it our own way, So I would love this to be like a tradition that the league does. It's just you've got to communicate the messaging quite clear to people when the jersey launches, that this is what it's going to be for year one, and then next year we'll put your logos on. And it'll be interesting to see if people who have bought year one jerseys this year for those two teams, if you're then going to buy the year two jerseys next year. It'll be interesting to see that. Yeah. So for those of you who bought those already, you're going to be like a nice little collector's item that probably not many people are going to have. For whatever reason. So that is quite nice. Yeah. So yeah. Because it was interesting to see what was Seattle Vancouver going to do when they got announced back in April. We did wonder what was going to happen with that front, because we just didn't know. So obviously, Seattle Vancouver had a placeholder logo, which was used for branding. It was used at the draft back in Ottawa. So me personally did wonder, did they need to do the diagonal jersey lettering, because could they maybe just put the placeholder logos on and that would work? But clearly thought otherwise. So I'm fine, but we did have a lot of things to ponder regarding the two teams in terms of branding and jerseys over the summer. And obviously the league gone for the result that works best for them, and hats off to them that. Just brilliant. But it did give a lot of food for thought during this long, cruel summer of what was going to happen on that front. So I think it works brilliant. It's brilliant. So let's see how this goes forward. And I just think it would be a really good thing to have like an own tradition, and it helps those new expansion teams come into the league, grow that connection, develop that bond with the city they're going to be in, and it also gives people at the same time a lot of opportunity to get used to seeing the brands now as they are now, so that when they go on the jerseys, you're not going to have any sort of reservations or hesitation, just like, that's the brand, it works fine. So yeah. So just some thoughts there. I think in year one I would not be saying I would want these to be seen again. I just thought it works for year one, but I wouldn't want people to then keep replicating that going year in year out. And here we are now, fast forward into year 3. Here I am suggesting it should be a tradition for, all expansion going forward. Because expansion is going to be coming at a more faster, rapid, and aggressive pace in the PHL than you're used to seeing in a sports league. Most sports leagues don't tend to be this quite aggressive with expansion this early on in the game. But because we know that not only is the talent pool out there, but also the interest is out there, it means that we are in this very unique stage where we can literally just grow the league right now, get more teams in, and then be in a position where we can then be in a stable, viable league, maybe 10 years or 15 years down the line. Definitely by the time we hit our 20th year, we're definitely going to be in that position, but it just helps. It just helps us reach that further. The more teams we add now at this stage, the easier it's going to be for us to then get to that position where we can be like a stable, functioning, viable league that can work with generations to come, because that is the end goal. So, yeah, so it's really exciting. Obviously, it's going to be exciting to see how Seattle Vancouver look with these jerseys on the ice. And of course, obviously, with the purple trade up in our coverage this year, we're going to be able to see that more than if we're just doing our Frost games. Yeah, so it's so just a little thoughts I've had there about about this little idea. It's a nice little quick video there for you guys. Just some general thoughts, and I really would like to see this as a tradition for expansion teams. I think it would just, as I've said, it really will help to connect with the team and the city just that little bit better, because it's not easy for a new sports team to come in and try and develop that bond with the city it's going to call home for the next generation. So I think what the Heat are doing is right with how they want the teams to try and connect with their cities, and it has worked. It worked for the Oracle 6 in year 1. I'm very confident it will work for Seattle Vancouver as we now head into their first years, and we'll see how it goes going forward. Yeah. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think this should be a good idea, petition or not? Let me know. And we'll see you in the next one. Until then.